Hey now YouTube, Joey brings it back again. Cali, another gorgeous week here on the West Coast, the best coast. Gonna talk some cards, some baseball cards, and in particular, we're gonna do a video response here for one of my new buddies here on YouTube, BlueJacket66. What's up, Dave? I just found your channel a while ago. Actually, I had been seeing your videos until you reminded me, hey, that I wasn't subscribed to you. Man, I didn't know I wasn't. I was seeing the videos, but I clicked the subscribe button, so now I don't miss any of your videos. You are one serious vintage collector. Let me tell you, a high-end serious vintage collector. In my opinion, you have the most superb high-end collection here on YouTube. I love your sets. I love your cards, your variety, man. You and I have really a knack for liking the same type of cards, especially your PSA graded cards, your food issue cards, and for me, one of my latest sets that I'm starting to venture upon, the 1949 Bowman. You are the master at that set, and I'm going to be looking to you for advice and guidance as I slowly but surely work my way up the ranks of that set. But hey, I want to do a response for your contest that you're giving, and I'm going to put a link to Dave's channel down below. So anybody who has not subscribed to BlueJacket66, hey, you're missing out. You got to do it. Just go to the end of my video down below and subscribe. So Dave wanted us to do two things: talk about who got us into collecting and what else do I collect. So first off, I would say it has to be my parents, because they gave me this gene, this collecting gene, this OCD gene, that I like to have things that go together, things that look alike, things that are meant to be together in order. My parents had a old-fashioned local music store, record store. Back in the day, we used to sell cassettes and CDs. And when I was little, I'm talking about 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, I would go and I would organize all the cassette tapes by alphabetical, by color coding. Whichever ones had most would be on the left side. And as they got least, like, 6 deep, 5 deep, 2 deep, 1 deep, any way you can name it, I would put it in order. I would organize it. I had no idea who the artists were, but that's the way I was, even when I was little. So blame my parents for giving me the gene. And where my parents' shop was, I kid you not, can you imagine 4 doors down? We're talking growing up in the late 70s. The world, hey, there was no social media. There was no 24 hours news cycle. The world was a safe place, man. I would put on my roller skates and go roller skating around the block, down the main street of our city, right in front of all the businesses. Hey, we weren't afraid of anything back then. 4 doors down from my parents' business was a card shop. Mark Graff's comics and baseball cards. I still remember Mr. Mark Graff to this day. And he's the one that helped me out in collecting. That first year, I bought pack upon pack upon pack, 25 cents, 1979 tops. But after him, he got to see me there every day after school, all day, every day on the weekends. He finally took me aside and said, hey, little man, you want to be a collector, you want to make wise choices. Even though it maybe was detrimental to him, he told me, don't buy packs. They're manufacturing millions upon millions of those cards. He goes, look at these cards that I have over here in the glass cases, in the binders. And little by little, I got to see vintage. All of my favorite players, 1979, man, Steve Garvey, Pete Rose, Dave Parker, Ron Say, Reggie Jackson, Fernando Valenzuela, all these guys. When I would go see the older cards, I mean, imagine loving Pete Rose. He already had the 5-inch wide sideburns, and he's an old man already. But then I saw cards of him like the 1964 Topps when he had that baby face, and I fell in love. And Mr. Mark Graff taught me about how, how the difference between scarcity and high end and, different grades, mint and VG and X-Mint, all these different grades. And he told me, hey, instead of putting all your allowance every day, save up for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and buy one big card every 2-3 weeks. And that worked out great because I'd save about $15, and my dad would kick in another $5, $10, $25, and I could go buy me a freaking 1960 Topps Willie Mays or 1959 Topps Whitey Ford, any type of card, any vintage, and we're talking they were gem mint. We didn't have PSA back then, but Mr. Mark Graff explained to me the grades and how, buy what you can afford, but if it's between two, if you could somehow muster up, get the next one up if possible. So that I've had to mix in through my life, that trying to get the best cards I can afford with my other compulsion, which is getting so many, and I think I've ended up right in the middle. I don't buy Mickey Mantle cards very much because, man, I would rather have a Hank Aaron and a Willie Mays and a Pete Rose and a Fernando Valenzuela card instead of one Mickey Mantle. I'm not in this for, I'm not trying to retire off of this. I'm enjoying the hobby. And what I do with my grading and stuff, my PSA submissions, that's just to lock in the value. In the future I ever need to do anything with that, it's there, it's ready to go. But that's who got me started in the hobby. And what else do we collect? So I wanted to show you, first off, what I collect are what's called soccer games. Soccer is actually my first love. I played it. I coached my daughter's club soccer team. Hey, this weekend I'm going to go up to Bakersfield for 3 days. I'm missing work. I'm losing money. But I love it. It's my daughter, and me and the wifey are going to go. This is what I do as a hobby, side hobby. Look at these two big containers here of DVDs, soccer matches. I have about 100 of these type containers. Every soccer match in the world that you could ever want to see. We're talking all the World Cups, all the Champions Leagues, UEFA Leagues, South American Leagues, La Liga, English leagues, any type of soccer you can imagine. Bundesliga, Serie A, I have it on tape. Imagine all my baseball collecting buddies. Imagine you being able to go to your shelf at any time and, hey, I want to see the 1981 All-Star Game. Just go get the DVD and watch it. I want to see the 1959 World Series game, Game 4, where Whitey Ford pitched. Just go get it. I want to see opening day 1963 with Sandy Koufax on the mound pitching for the LA Dodgers. Hey, man, just go to the shelf, pick out the DVD. That's what I have in soccer. We have this worldwide network of collectors. We all have our games on DVD. There's no selling, there's no anything, and we just trade them. I have it on the spreadsheet. I have, 1,000, 2,000 matches. I talked to a collector in Ireland, and he has 1,000, 2,000 matches, and we'll do trades maybe 12 at a time. He looks at I send him my spreadsheet, he sends me his, and we just trade and trade and trade. And the collections grow and grow and grow. And that's the way we do it in soccer. Imagine baseball, football, man, any Super Bowl you wanted, any playoff game, any wild card game, any big matchup, Dallas against Washington, any year, anytime, any place. Imagine having that. I have that in soccer, and it's available. I wish it were in baseball, but you can get little snippets here and there on YouTube. It's not the same. But anyway, and what I mean by it's not the same, these have the commercials, these have the intro. You know how when you watch a World Series, that 5-10 minute intro? These have the intros. They have everything. It's awesome. Second thing I collect, Dave, believe it or not, I like to read. I'm not reading love stories, or I'm not reading, manuals or anything like that. I love sports. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, guys, this is what I'm talking about that I like to read. These type of books, sports books. Look at this one, man. Roberto Duran, The Hands of Stone, one of my favorite boxers. Hank Aaron, The Hammer. Look at his book. It's his words, the Hank Aaron story. I had a hammer. John McEnroe, Bill Walsh, Building a Champion. This is the book that I've been reading. I've kind of showed it on a couple of my videos. Man, Andre Agassi. I love tennis, especially in the 80s, 90s. I love tennis, man. Look at this. Peter Schmeichel, the best goalie of all time. Larry Bird, Larry Legend. I can totally appreciate him now. Look at this one, man. One of my favorites. My View of the Corner, Angelo Dundee book. Awesome. My favorite running back of all time, Tony D. To run the ball like Tony D while the Dallas Cowgirls cheer for me. Running tough. Man, I wish he would have dressed up in that Dallas Cowboy uniform. But he had just been traded, so there was no way he was going to do that. Look at this one, The Snake. Whew. This one of my favorites of all time. Howard Cosell. I never played the game. Look at this one, the Tom Landry autobiography. Epic. I really love boxing. Larry Holmes, Against the Odds. After reading this book, man, you cannot help but fall in love with Larry Holmes. And this one, this is a book that I just finished reading. My goodness gracious, man. Facing Ali. I love Muhammad Ali, man. I think Muhammad Ali is the greatest athlete of all time. I'm talking about, man, not just sports, man. In life, in everything you want to say, he is the greatest of all time. This is really cool. Let me see how many. Does it say? No, it doesn't. I think it's 15 guys, if I'm not mistaken. There are 15 chapters. Like, one is Larry Holmes. One is Joe Frazier. One is Ken Norton. One is Sonny Liston. I don't think it's Sonny Liston, but there's 15 guys who have all. The guy, Chuck Wepner, the guy that's the inspiration for Rocky is in this book. Facing Ali. This is the perspective of these 15 boxers who faced Ali. Their words, what it was like facing Ali, leading up to the fight. Did the fight live up to the hype? What was it like? What was the aftermath of the fight? Amazing, guys. So this is what I like to do, what I like to collect outside of baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards. Check this out, guys. This is just a little snippet. I must have 100 different books, but they're not scholarly books. I love autobiographies. They don't have to be sports. But I especially love sports. Larry Bird, that's a really cool book to drive. Man, it doesn't get any better than this, guys. This one's really good right here. Howard Cosell, my favorite announcer of all time. All right, guys, everybody, please, a reminder, go sign up for Dave's channel, BlueJacket66. You like the vintage? Man, this guy has it. The best collection on YouTube, bar none, hands down. He gets my vote. Awesome. Hey guys, I'm out of gas, I'm out of time. It's Joey Brings It. I hope you guys liked this quick little video. For my standards, it was quick, 13 minutes, going on 14. Signing off from Cali, West Coast, vintage forever. See you guys. Be good. Cali.